This is the revamp of the Naples Vice podcast. And as a slight reminder, just to give a little bit of an introduction to kind of the whole basis behind what we're doing here, what I'm doing with this broadcast. I don't want to call myself a new trader because I've been at this for, we'll call it a year and a half to be fair, of trading mostly equity derivatives and commodity derivatives as well. So options, futures, a little bit of stock, a little bit of crypto every now and then. So that's about where I'm at here in terms of trading. And we see a lot of material on the internet where people who have already made it in this business are at, and they kind of reflect on their stories. Find your favorite financial channel on YouTube, and you're going to see that they're talking about, what's working for them right now, what they're doing. Well, what I want to do here is I want to kind of chronicle my journey. So you can see if you're a new trader, if you're newer at this than I am, then you can see kind of some of the struggles I go through as well as some of the ups, because trading is not an easy journey. I mean, it's not. And sometimes you get a little down. It's very easy to get down. It's very easy to look down on yourself, especially when you get into kind of a crunch. And if you haven't been doing this for a while, when you get through that period of time where, say, you're losing some money, you're losing trade after trade, even you blew up your account. I've done that this year, and it really sucks. So as I go through my journey, I'm going to be very honest, just to convey what's really going on in my head, as opposed to just bragging about all the things that, can come with trading. So, over the last year, I'm not going to say exact numbers, but I've had some of the biggest returns ever. And because of that, I also had the biggest drawdown this year, which was pretty difficult. It really kind of set me back. Not monetarily, because you can always make more money. There's always more opportunities to make more money in this market. Uh, it kind of tore me down a little bit. And the way that I got through it, it sounds all cliche, but you just have to keep your head up. You have to, instead of looking at right now, thinking that, okay, I just destroyed my account, now I have to find a way to raise some more capital, whether you borrow it, which I don't recommend doing, that's a horrible idea, or you dig into your savings, or you get a second job for a little while because you want to save up a couple grand to get back into the action. You have to look at the future and think about, where's this going to take me? What do I want from this? And when you start to focus on that, you start to forget about all these little mishaps and about being down and about being depressed or whatever it might be. And you realize that just like the market, there's pullbacks, there's mean reversions, whatever it is that you want to call it in your trading career. As you learn, as you progress, you do a little bit better, and then a little bit better, and then a little bit better. And you build yourself up through all these lessons that you learn by saying, okay, I have a small 5-figure account, and I'm trading $140,000 worth of silver, or $200,000 worth of natural gas, which is a horrible idea relative to your account, but you learn, and you learn how to get over that. You learn how to manage situations like that, so that in the future you don't make these same kind of novice mistakes. And really, once you start to understand that, you realize, you learn about the products that you like to trade, you learn about the time frames that you like to trade, and all these little mishaps, all this conflation that occurs over all these mistakes that you make brings you up to where you want to be, to where if you want to be trading full time and you get through that, And once you are trading full time, you're not doing stupid things like taking massive positions or borrowing a bunch of money that you can't afford to pay back, or you name it. Throughout my experience, I've done it all. And I've only been on this path for a pretty short period of time. Relative to some of the stories that you hear on the internet, it takes people 8 or 10 years to get through this. Well, I've only been here, like I said, a year and a half. If you really want to consider a strategic trading plan instead of just buying a penny stock, which is pretty much like buying a lottery ticket, and you build from there. So the goal here is to discuss these things, so you can see what it's really about. Because once you go through John Doe guy over here who has a strategy and you follow it and you pay first class and you pay thousands, because that's usually how much these guys charge, then you learn that, you know, you learn what really matters, which is risk management, which is the psychological aspects of this game, as opposed to having a strategy. Now, having a good strategy is very important. You have to have some kind of an idea of what you're doing, obviously, because trading is a business, and you have to have a plan, you have to have a strategy, you have to, before you make a trade, you always say, okay, this is my risk, this is what I'm expecting to make, this is where the stock or index or whatever it is here. If it goes to here, I'm out. If it's up here, I'm out. With options, it's a tad bit different. We'll go into that later in the future. So, if you want to hear a real story about somebody who's trying to come up in the world of trading, right here is exactly the place that you want to be.